You're going nowhere at the moment. Okay, you're detained until I confirm your name and address.
Under what section am I detained?
I'm going to confirm that shortly, okay?
I'm after your name and address. No, what provision?
Like I've explained.
What provision? What section of what?
Under the counter-terrorism law.
Which section?
I'm obliged to ask for your name and address.
Yeah, but which section?
Which section?
Yeah, I need to know for my personal records, because I keep personal records.
That's fine. I'll refer to my pocket notebook and I'll give you a full legislation here.
Welcome back to the channel, and make sure you go support them by subscribing to their original work. In this clip, an auditor is seen filming outside a football stadium on match day when an officer approaches and immediately escalates things by detaining him under Section 43 of the Terrorism Act. What follows is a chaotic exchange in which the officer admits he hasn't properly established his grounds, pulls out his mobile device to look up the very legislation he's relying on, and tries to use highly specific counterterrorism powers essentially to fish for a name and address. Let's get into it.
You're filming people.
I'm not filming them people at all.
I've just stood watching you.
No, I was changing the battery.
Right, okay. Well, I'm not going to dispute that, but you were stood by a fence line observing people. Have you got a ticket for the match?
For your own sake, in future, if you have press as well, because it's quite a common question for press that we would ask.
You're just using every trick in the book. You want to do this, don't you? Go on, come on, go and do it.
Your name and address.
Go on, do it. Come on.
I don't want to search you. I'm asking for your name and address.
Why do you want my name and address?
Like I've said.
Under what provision do you want my address? Just make it clear to me.
Based on the current counter-terrorism threat.
Yep.
You've been with this group of people all day. You're now on private property.
Yep.
You've disputed the fact that you're filming on private property. It's a massive football fixture. 54,000 people are going to be present. You've not got a ticket. You're on private land.
A camera isn't a device of terrorist purposes.
And you're acting suspiciously.
I'm not. You're just using every trick in the book. You know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. It's cool.
I'm not going any further. I'll give you my ground.
Right from the start, this interaction shows a textbook problem with stop-and-count encounters. The officer approaches the auditor because he was observing people near a fence line. And while an officer is allowed to ask questions, the auditor has *** no legal obligation *** to answer unless he is under arrest or detained under specific legislation. The officer then jumps straight to counterterrorism powers as justification to demand a name and address. A huge and unjustified leap. Under Section 43 of the Terrorism Act 2000, an officer must have ** reasonable suspicion that the individual is a terrorist ** in order to stop and search them. Simply standing on a publicly accessible road or car park and filming does ** not ** meet the legal threshold for reasonable suspicion. The officer also references private property.
No, what provision?
Like I've explained.
What provision? What section of what?
Under the counter-terrorism law.
Which section?
I'm obliged to ask for your name and address.
Yeah, but which section?
Which section?
Yeah, I need to know for my personal records, because I keep personal records.
That's fine. I'll refer to my pocket notebook and I'll give you a full legislation here. But whilst we're doing that, you give me your name and address.
But you've got access to PNLD. If you can find a section, find a section, I'll comply with you.
That's fine.
Good man.
Have you got permission off the club to be here? No.
I haven't been asked by the landowner to leave, but
not at the moment you haven't. But obviously this is a football fixture. And we're on behalf of the club.
If you want to do the thing, I'll comply with you. I'm going in a minute anyway, dude.
You're going nowhere at the moment. Okay, you're detained until I confirm your name and address.
Under what section am I detained?
I'm going to confirm that shortly, okay?
Surely, because
under the counter-terrorism legislation, you've been acting suspiciously all day around a large group of people.
This is difficult to watch. The auditor asks a straightforward, essential question. What specific provision are you relying on? The officer can't answer and instead pulls out his phone to look up the PNLD, the Police National Legal Database. If an officer is depriving you of your liberty, which he openly acknowledges by stating the man is detained, he must know the legal power ** before ** the detention takes place. You cannot detain a member of the public and then search online for the justification afterward. This arguably renders the detention unlawful at this point.
In the city centre,
so have I.
Which concerns me slightly.
Why does it concern?
Because I'm lawfully obliged to take my video capture. You've said your press, you've got no press badge.
What do you want, my name and address, yeah?
You're lovely, yeah. Driving licence, any ID.
Just to... And
can you confirm which press agency you're working for, or you freelance?
Just to... which section am I providing these to you?
I will give you the section like I've said. At the minute,
I'm detained without a section, I'm just detained?
Yes, you are, yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes, I am sure.
What's your calling number for me?
There's my calling number.
18241. Cheers, brother. There you go.
Much. I appreciate that.
No worries.
In 20 years of policing, mate.
You've messed up, not me, mate. You know this, and your colleague knows as well.
I disagree entirely.
No, your colleague knows as well, so he's laughing.
I disagree entirely, mate.
I know, dude. I know. Don't worry about it.
That's fine.
We all make mistakes, my friend. It's section 43, I think.
Well, it's very kind of you to try and reference that. Once I've put you through and I've confirmed.
The officer is now fishing for ID. In the United Kingdom, unlike some other countries, there is no requirement to carry or produce identification when asked by police unless you are driving a motor vehicle or being reported for an offense, such as antisocial behavior under Section 50 of the Police Reform Act. The officer claims the auditor was acting suspiciously around a large group of people, but acting suspiciously is not an offense in itself. The officer must suspect a specific crime is occurring. The auditor correctly points out that the officer is using the Terrorism Act as a catch-all tool to force identification, which is a misuse of power commonly referred to as phishing.
Because it's an offence not to have the correct address on your driving licence. Are you registered at that address?
It's an offence to drive with it, but...
it's an offence to have the wrong address on your driving licence.
What do you mean registered at the address?
Basically, do you
live at that address?
Yeah, sometimes. You know, mate, you know.
I'm not going to take on any further, but you know what you're doing.
I know, I do.
What I will confirm with Manchester City is they're going to get your photo on their club cameras as well.
I don't care. I don't follow football. It's for these kind of people. I don't follow football. Don't follow football. Not remotely interested, honestly. Do your worst. Tell the SAS.
It's frozen, so you have to bear with me for the moment, okay?
The officer suggests that because the auditor doesn't carry a formal press pass, he isn't press, which is legally incorrect. The UK does ***, not ***, have state-licensed journalists. Anyone can operate as a freelance photographer or citizen journalist. Credit to the officer for staying relatively calm despite the auditor's sarcasm, but him taking a photo of the auditor on his personal or work mobile device is questionable. While police are allowed to gather intelligence, using a mobile phone to photograph a detainee who hasn't been arrested can be seen as a privacy intrusion, even though officers often justify it as identifying a subject for intelligence reports.
Grounds, currently, based on your actions today and the evidence on my body-worn video, to suggest you're up to no good.
To suggest I'm up to no good?
If you've provided the fact that you're filming for a company and you've got permission to be here...
I'm not filming for a company.
You said you remember the press.
I'm freelance press. Anyone can be press. You can be press.
Yes, if you have a badge and ID.
No. You can consider yourself press. You can take photos. You're freelance.
I've spoken to many freelance press officers before, and they all have ID.
We're not required to carry identification in the UK. We are not required to carry any ID in the UK, whether we are a banker, a press photographer, or a footballer. You don't need to carry any ID. I promise you, sir.
I'm still frozen.
No worries.
So we're still here. Okay.
Still detained indefinitely.
Well,
with no section. You can write it down. No problem.
The officer openly admits he hasn't given his full grounds, which is a critical failure. A detention must be necessary, proportionate, and lawful, and if the grounds haven't been properly established, the detention is technically invalid. We're now several minutes into a detention in which the officer is still scrolling through his phone trying to justify his actions. Pace Code A makes it clear that a detention must be kept as brief as possible, and detaining a citizen while you
Here we go, we're on. System's working.
So
what we'll do also, I'm going to fill in an intelligent submission when I go back to the station, okay? Detailing this stop and why we've done it, okay?
As you're required to do.
The officer mentions he'll be completing an intelligence submission, which exposes the real purpose of the stop, data harvesting. He almost certainly knows he's not going to uncover bomb-making materials. He just wants a name for the database. Using Section 43 powers purely to gather intelligence is unlawful. If the suspicion of terrorism isn't genuine, the search itself becomes unlawful. And if the officer truly believed this man was a terrorist, why is he allowing him to stand there freely holding a device, in this case, a camera, without securing his hands? The officer's body language completely contradicts the level of threat implied by the legislation.
Again, it's really...
Nothing to do with you. Nothing. I get it.
If that's how you feel, mate, that's how you feel.
No worries.
It's okay.
You know I'm not a terrorist. I know I'm not a terrorist. She knows I'm not a terrorist. He knows I'm not a terrorist because he's seen me all day filming football fans and he knows I'm press.
I know you're not up to no good, mate.
You know I'm up to no good. You know for a fact.
Yeah, you're trying to mouth off and one about the Manchester bomb and be disrespectful to what I do.
What? What am I
you,
doing that's up to no good?
You're filming in a private area, large groups of public entering an iconic site.
You're allowed to access this until you're asked to leave.
Right.
Trespass is a civil matter. It's not illegal.
Yeah. You're trying to question every ground I've
Of course I am, because I have civil rights, and the second I give them up, I'll lose them. You're the one being unlawful here, not me.
The officer brings up the Manchester bombing, and while tragic incidents do heighten security awareness, they cannot be used to suspend civil liberties or bypass legal requirements. This is an emotional appeal, not a legal justification. The auditor correctly notes that he is filming in a privately owned area that is still open to the public. If the landowner hasn't asked him to leave, he isn't even trespassing. The police here are acting more like private security, enforcing a *** policy ***, not the *** law ***. The officer's remark...
This is a stop and account.
Yeah.
Have I laid a finger on you?
You've detained me.
Have I laid a finger on you?
That is an assault because you've detained me unlawfully. You know it's an assault. You don't have to touch someone for an assault. You know that. You're a cop. You know that. This is an unlawful stop search. £500 per hour, sir. You know.
That's an opinion from yourself.
No, it's fact, case law. I've done it a few times.
Very well.
Don't worry, it's going on. Don't worry.
You'll notice that's not speeding up my process. I'm doing my job now, okay?
Don't worry, dude. If it goes over an hour, it'll be it's easy. You know what unlawful detention looks like. You know what it looks like.
Mate, I understand my powers, I understand my grounds, okay?
You haven't given reasonable grounds for a terrorist search. Well, you haven't given any grounds.
I've told...
There's a discussion here about assault. The officer says, "Have I laid a finger on you?" as if that alone proves he hasn't assaulted him. But under UK common law, false imprisonment or unlawful detention can occur *** without any physical contact at all ***. If an officer tells you that you cannot leave, and he does not have lawful authority to impose that restriction, that is a deprivation of liberty. If this were brought before a court, the judge would consider whether a reasonable person would genuinely suspect that a man standing with a camera is...
Your current address, we've got 2 addresses on the system for you.
What address have you got, and I'll confirm it?
We've got this one, and we've got an address...
Just put that one.
That one? Okay. So you're living there at the moment?
Sometimes, yeah. I'm a vulnerable adult with mental health conditions. I live at separate addresses, and I'm under the care of separate people.
Okay. What mental health conditions have you got?
Paranoid schizophrenia.
Right. Do you wish to share how you're feeling at the moment?
Fine.
Need any support? Do you need any support?
No.
Okay.
I'm on medication. Yeah. I'm under a mental health team.
Have you got a casework? Have you got a care work?
Yep.
Do you need me to speak to them at all?
No.
You
Fine.
sure?
Absolutely fine.
Okay.
I was
based on what you've
said
said now, based on what you've said,
yep.
I've got a duty of care to make sure that you either get home safe or I speak to a care worker to confirm.
I'm trying to get home. I was just going over, just as you approached me.
Are you with the chap on the bike?
Just as you approached me,
right,
yeah.
okay.
I wouldn't like you to disclose any of my personal medical information to him.
No, wouldn't you?
A dynamic shift here. The auditor reveals he is a vulnerable adult with mental health.
The dynamic shifts here when the auditor discloses that he is a vulnerable adult with mental health difficulties, and to the officer's slight credit, his tone softens and he mentions a duty of care. But this also exposes a risk, Officers sometimes resort to Section 136 of the Mental Health Act, a power to detain mentally disordered individuals in immediate need of care, as a fallback when criminal grounds collapse. And in this moment, it feels less like genuine safety.
And going home until you unlawfully detain me here.
That's your opinion?
I know it is.
Okay.
We're not going to get
somebody
into
to
that.
go home with.
I'm perfectly able to go home. Promise you. Promise you that.
Right, thank you very much. I'm going to ask you to leave the area now, okay?
Sorry?
I'm going to ask you to leave the area to the gate, and then that's public land.
I'm going home anyway. That was my plan. Just as I was changing the battery, I was going home.
If you'd have said that as we'd have spoken to you, perhaps things would have been differently.
I did.
Okay.
See you in a bit.
Have a good night.
You too.
The encounter concludes with the officer asking the auditor to leave the area. Notably, no search ever actually took place. The officer detained him under Section 43, the stop-and search power, but didn't perform any search, confirming that the true objective was simply to obtain ID and move him along. This interaction represents a clear procedural failure. The officer detained a citizen without clear grounds, lacked knowledge of the legislation, failed to conduct the search he claimed to justify the detention, and effectively used a counter-terrorism power to enforce what was essentially a civil trespass issue. This is precisely the type of policing that auditing channels exist to expose.